get them out here, and we will get right amongst it. I've been excited by the coverage I've seen in the papers this week of the first ever Men's Fashion Week. I don't know if you've seen these pictures. Why shouldn't men have a fashion week as well? Well, we've got one now. It's here in London, and these are the must-see looks coming up for 2013. Here's the first one. Check this out. Now, that's great, isn't it? He looks like a cosy spaceman. Looks like something an astronaut's mum would knit when he goes off on a long journey. OK? If you don't fancy that one, here's another look that's available. Now, that is, for men, a cross between a skirt and a short. It's called a skort. I think it makes him look a bit of a twat, but, OK, and let's go to my favourite one. Here's my favourite one. Look at that. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking he looks a bit of a plank. Well, you want to know the name of the designer of that one? Vivian Wastewood. No self-respecting real man would wear that, would they? Well,
Jonathan.
Micky.
Yeah.
You all right, Micky?
It's the last time I go to IKEA.
Let's get my first guest out. I might need a hammer to get him out of that, though. He's a fabulous comedian, but if you haven't seen him in action before he comes out here, just have a look at this. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Micky Flanagan. Great to have you here. Micky Flanagan, ladies and gentlemen. You want to sit down, Micky? Relax, take a load off. Great to see you. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
It's all right, not a problem. As long as it don't take too long.
Well, yeah, I guess you are busy, because you are now one of the biggest...
I'm double busy, John.
Are you double busy. You're really snowed under at the moment? But you are. Your tour's on at the moment. You're one of the biggest names in comedy right now.
I am, yeah.
Right, and here's the thing, I didn't...
What am I supposed to say at that point?
Well, that's a nice thing to say.
Leave it out, John. Nothing going on.
OK. But it's not... People think it's kind of been a sudden thing, but it isn't one of these overnight success things. You have been doing this for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been doing it about 15, 16 years.
And suddenly it just kind of went crazy.
Yeah, I think that was called trying a bit harder. Pushing on. Ambition, they call it.
So did you change your act, or did people just catch up with you?
No, I just started doing it to sort of bigger audiences, really. I took it to the Edinburgh Festival, and then we got the Radio 4 show, and then it seemed to grow from there, really.
So that time, I guess you were supporting yourself with comedy the whole time, or did you have a variety of other jobs? What were you doing?
Oh, during the comedy, I did painting and decorating. Before that, I did window cleaning, I made furniture, I did a little spate of school teaching.
Wow. Yeah. So you've tried a bit of everything? Almost every job in the world I've done, yeah. In the real world, best job you've had, worst job you've had?
I think the best job I had was a DJ on Friday nights in a pub in Bethnal Green.
That sounds fun.
Oh. Yeah, I changed the industry.
What?
Because I used to... One record would end, and I'd start the other one without a gap.
So no gap?
Unbelievable. People were blown away.
It's gone crazy for them. We mentioned you being a real EastEnder.
Yeah.
You are a real EastEnder. Is EastEnder, the TV series, in any way an accurate reflection of your upbringing, or was it more of a kind of only fools and horses kind of house?
Probably more the fools and horses type thing. Yeah, my dad was sort of a bit of a lad. And the house was sort of... There was stolen goods in the house, but then... that's every house. It's not...
No, it's not. It's not every house.
If you're in the East End and someone turns up with a parcel or something, you don't go, oh, no, that's bang out of order.
No.
You go, you know the rules, it's just under half price.
Were you a leery young man, though? Because I get the feeling, because you weren't... I've seen pictures of you, you weren't a bad-looking guy, OK?
What do you mean, weren't?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously you're a fine figure of a man now, but you were, you know, I guess were you out and about? Were you rough and tumble? Did you get mixed up with the crowd?
Yeah, well, I think in the East End you tend to, you know, whatever pubs you go in, there's often trouble, but I wasn't someone who got involved in it. You sniff it out, don't you, when you go in a pub and you think, hold up, it's going to kick off in here. Yeah. And you just think, I'll go. But that's part of the East End way of life. You know, there are people who love a fight and there are people who sort of love a...
I get the feeling you're more of a lover than a fighter. I was
much more of a lover than a fighter, but I wasn't even very successful at that. I did a lot of takeaways and things like that after the pub. That's what I used to do.
You know, I wasn't particularly popular as a young man, I'll be honest with you, and I was always hoping that I would get invited to a late lock-in. Never happened.
Oh, really?
I never got to know anyone in a pub well enough to let me stay after hours. Were you in with pub owners? Did you?
Oh, well, that was just a given, you know. We used to go to a pub in the Hackney Road called the Halfway House, and we used to go in there when we were 14.
14?
Yeah, and just walk in, and like, it was just rites of passage, wasn't it? When you walked in, went, pint lager live, mate, and he'd go, all right. And you'd go, that's it, I'm in.
Yeah.
And he came round one night, I think it was a Wednesday, and he said, you all staying for a drink? And we went, yeah, why not, Wednesday? And we all ended up drinking at about 1 o'clock, and then the police turned up, and they sort of kicked the door in and came running, and it was real drama, you know. We're all up against the wall, and they're like, we want names. Oh, well, I'm William Bunter. This is Dennis Manasse. Then they ask you your age, don't they? And you're drunk, and you're like, 7th of the 10th, 1968. Oh, you're 10 years old, are you? 58, sorry, mate, 58. I said to him, listen, mate, you've done us all a favour. We've all got school in the morning anyway.
You don't live in the East End anymore, but you go back there still, do you? You have family back there? Or?
Yeah, I go back and I have to go back and see my mum and dad.
So they still live, what, in the same place?
They still live in the Roman Road.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So I go back to see them. I go back and see my mates, and, you know, they keep it real for you, don't they, your friends? When you're walking down the Bethnal Green and you hear, Flanagan! Wanker! You think, I'm doing the O2, you sure?
And did you ever... Because I was brought up in Leytonstone, East London, but it was kind of, that's not the heart of the East End.
No, that's the countryside.
Yeah, so...
We used to dream of making our way out to Leyton.
It was so grassy.
I had a picture of the Central line on my bedroom wall. I used to just get out to Leyton, who knows where next. Buckhurst Hill. Oh. Let the dream continue, John.
So you're on tour at the moment?
We're just doing a few preparatory shows.
Oh, really?
The work in progress. It's mostly, it's 99% there, just doing the last bit of tweaking on it, and then we're out sort of officially in February. Yeah.
Does it get harder to write material? Because I get the feeling that if you've been working material and you've got ideas from years ago, it's like that first album thing with bands, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got all that stuff which you've carried around for a long while, you've perfected, and then you have to churn out, is the wrong phrase, perhaps, but reproduce new stuff. And it must be a bit tougher, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but I think when you start off, you're in the clubs and, you know, you're working the comedy clubs, and then eventually you find your audience and you find out what they find funny in you, so that aspect of it is covered. They've come to see you, they want to have a laugh, so you've just got to take the time and the energy to deliver that show to them, you know, and so it's all in the preparation, really.
And the energy's still there? Because you're... You know,
the energy?
Well, we're not getting any younger, are we, Micky?
No, no. We are, me and my mates are falling apart. We were having a drink...
Well, how old are you now?
50.
But you look in great nick. Are your friends as well-preserved as you?
Well, I think everyone just gets their ailments, don't they, as you get older? You meet your mates and you just get a bit weaker. I had a friend turn up the other night who was sat down, he did that walk, you know, like when people come in the pub and they're like... And I thought, I think he shit himself. But it wasn't that. He said, I said, what's your problem? He said, oh, I've done my back in, bruv. I said, what, a bit of five-a-side, bit of weight training? He said, nah, I was wringing out a flannel. He said, I went a bit tight at the death and I've done my back in.
But you're not worried about that kind of thing? I mean, have you cut down drinking? Have you changed your diet?
Not really, no. I mean, I am of that generation, we partied really hard, my generation. You know, we were a little bit worried because we were the generation when sort of everything turned up, you know, cocaine, ecstasy, and it just got to the point where, you know, everywhere you went, like you'd be out on a Tuesday night or something and you'd be sort of reading the paper, having a quiet pint, and you'd hear like, all right, Mickey, you want a cheeky line? You want a little live now? And you'd be like, no, you're all right, Nan. Yeah, well,
ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying thank you to the spectacular Mr. Micky Flanagan?
Thank you.
Stay, sit down for a minute. Sit down. Don't get up yet. You're going to the break you here.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Relax. Lounge. After the break, I will be joined by the beautiful Paloma Faith, so don't go away.